The business is still closed right now, despite this sign over here. And that's the key issue that a lot of businesses downtown are dealing with, exhaustion. That's the mailbox right up here. And all around me, there's wood. There's bits of the mailbox thrown around. Right over here is this decorative house. Hendry left the Northwest for North Carolina. Maybe you come sit on the couch and turn on KHQ in here. Multiple businesses in downtown Spokane announced they're closing their doors for good. So what does this mean for an investor? You can see those dark black plumes of smoke. Tips on what you should keep in your vehicle this winter when you're driving, and some of those things include having a flashlight. Stop! This is a scam. Before you come out to spend a day skiing. To break it down, in 2025, but as we head into a big election season, ballot security in the mail might be on top of mind for many. Well, for Edwards, it means another 23 years behind bars, in addition to the 37 years he's already served. And today I sat in the courtroom to show you, the viewer, what unfolded.
Both the fatal shooting and rape occurred here in the Beacon Hill area about 3:30 a.m. Authorities spent the morning gathering evidence at the scene.
KHQ covered the murder of Kip McKenna in July of 1987.
And police made their arrest at Edwards' home.
Mr. Edwards, can you hear me okay?
Now, 37 years later,
Yes, ma'am, I can.
this painful chapter for Kip's father, Bill McKenna, might finally be closed. Daniel Edwards, now an old man, joined the court by video feed from prison. Mr. McKenna and his family and Kip's girlfriend, who was raped by Edwards, were in the courtroom.
He has a predilection for sexual offense behavior.
The prosecution spoke of Edwards' proclivity for criminal activity and described the events of that fateful July day as the execution of Kip, so Edwards could have the opportunity to rape the girlfriend. McKenna addressed the court, pleading with the judge to not allow Edwards to be released, and he read a letter from Kip's mother.
My fear is that Edwards has not changed. He will become a repeat offender and cause harm to another person.
The defense made their case that the murders were not premeditated, and because Edwards was a youthful offender at the age of 20, the murder and the rape were indicative of impulsive and reckless behavior. Meanwhile, Edwards gave a long address to the court, saying he is remorseful.
I am sorry. I truly am sorry. I've had 37 years waking up in a totalitarian environment, which I know none of you can comprehend.
Like anybody else in his position, he wanted to get out, so he was going to let you know, or try to let you know, that he's very sorry. I didn't buy that. I didn't buy his apology.
It was then time for Judge Annette Pleas to make her decision. She took the change to Washington state law into consideration, but also pointed to Edwards' less than perfect record in prison, which included assaults, pornography and cocaine found in his cell, smashing a toilet and TV due to anger over a video game, and threatening remarks made to others.
As far as giving you a release today.
And thus, she changed the sentence from life to 60 years. We did request an interview with Edwards, but did not hear back.
I'm satisfied with it. I would have rather had him say life in prison, but it is what it is.
Under Washington law, Edwards could get out of prison earlier. That's because he's eligible for the state's earned release time program, allowing prisoners reduced sentences for good behavior or good conduct. But for now, reporting live in Spokane tonight, I'm Steffi Roche, Nonstop Local.
I don't love advocating for just like go, 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 full gung-ho like police activity, but the increased presence in areas that are high traffic, it's noticeable. I don't know if it's positive or not.
That's Jake Rosenberg, stylist and owner of Solitude Barber Shop. He tells me his business is frequently in the center of issues facing downtown. He witnesses crime and open-air drug use.
We have a really strong drug population, and that's where the largest groups gather.
But in the last 30 days, it's been different.
So you'll get these groups that come, and they're broken up quicker than I usually have seen. It used to be that you'd call because they'd get aggressive, or they wouldn't leave in front of your doorstep. Nothing would happen. Now it's like you don't even need a call. It's just kind of being taken care of.
For instance,
maybe 3 days ago, we had someone trying to kick my door in. They were trying to break in, and the cops were down here before my alarm even started going off. But when the alarm went off and I came rushing down, they'd already handled the situation, and they saved my business from getting broken into.
the CORE program added more Spokane police officers downtown. Plus, SPD used foot and bike patrols to increase visibility and engagement. And during Wednesday's briefing, Chief Kevin Hall shared some data.
Assaults, both simple and ag assaults, were reduced during this 4-week period compared to the 4-week period the year before. So we're using the same date range, only from 2023. So violent crime trends went down slightly during this period, which we think is positive. We're still trying to determine causality, but there's definitely a correlation.
All this to say, SPD is seeing a slight decrease in crime since last year.
During the 30-day period, the police data reflects that a small number of people are committing a large number of crimes downtown. I requested an interview with Chief Hall and public safety leaders to get more context on the data, but was told the chief would not be available to answer my questions. I'm asking for specifics regarding the number of arrests made during the pilot program, and if SPD knows how long those arrested stayed in jail. For Cochinito, their owner tells me he was unaware of the CORE pilot program, but also he has not noticed a difference in the crime-related issues they deal with, or any new increase in SPD's presence.
Talking briefly with my staff, kind of the same. I mean, they haven't seen any more, haven't seen any less.
Travis Dickinson says the Mexican restaurant, which sits across the street from SPD's downtown precinct, regularly deals with vandalism and harassment. They've had windows busted out twice since September.
Kind of hard to judge from our location, but nothing noticeable. Definitely haven't noticed a huge swing either directions.
But it's a different story.
Well,
for Ashley Brownlee,
I would say
the owner of Garland Resale, a consignment boutique right next door to Solitude Barbershop.
I've definitely seen an increase in patrol cars and a decrease in maybe stoop tenants.
She's also seen a decrease in open-air drug use. Drug use, she says, which was all too frequent during the summer.
And especially in the area that we're in, I'm on the back end of the Red Path block, so there's a lot of crime and maybe drug use, etc.
The next step for the city will be determining if the 4-week trial provided enough data to justify making the increased presence downtown permanent, and figuring out how the city will fund it.
If Spokane wants to experiment and try different steps to take care of me and the building as a whole, with people like Ashley next door, Emma Ruse, and I don't know. I think it'd be a benefit if they continue.
In Spokane, I'm Steffi Roche, Nonstop Local.